to you first, Rupert, in terms of the royal repercussions here. But first up, just to explain exactly what's happened. We are talking about Tuesday night, or Tuesday day, there's a reception at the palace, the Buckingham Palace, hosted by the Queen Consort, Camilla, about her charity work, particularly campaign work on domestic violence against women. Among the people invited are lots of charity chiefs who run those charities helping those women. Among them is the chief executive of the charity Sistah Space. Her name is Ngozi Fulani. She is one of those who's invited because of her great work in that field. She was spoken to by a former lady-in-waiting to the Queen, senior royal aide and aristocrat, Lady Susan Hussey, aged 83. Before we go into rights and wrongs, I'm going to read just the full transcript, because a lot of people are saying she just asked this lady, where is she from? What's the big deal? The full transcript, I think, explains what the big deal is. Right, so here's it goes. I'm going to do Lady Susan's accent, if that's okay with everybody. I'm guessing I'm going to be right with this. Where are you from? Sistah Space, was the reply from Ms Fulani. No, where do you come from? We're based in Hackney. No, what part of Africa are you from? Can you see where this is going, folks? I don't know. They didn't leave any records, was the response. I love that response. Well, you must know where you're from. I spent time in France. Where are you from? Here, the UK. No, but what nationality are you? I'm born here and I'm British. No, but where do you really come from? Where do your people come from? My people, lady. What is this? Came the reply. Oh, I can see I'm going to have a challenge getting you to say where you're from. When did you first come here? Lady, I'm a British national. My parents came here in the 50s when... Oh, I knew we'd get there in the end. You're Caribbean. No, lady, I am of African heritage, Caribbean descent, and am British nationality. Lady Susan carries on. Oh, so you're from... It just carried on. No one... Rupert Bell, let's be clear. No one is disputing this conversation happened, including Lady Susan Hussey. Other people were witness to this. Other people were uncomfortable at the time. So we wrote this up and tweeted about it pretty quickly. Prince William, now the Prince of Wales, on a visit arriving in America, along with the Princess of Wales, Catherine, he has said these were unacceptable comments, and Lady Susan Hussey has basically resigned from any duties at Buckingham Palace. What do you make of that?
I think it is completely... the royal family have done the right thing. Lady Susan Hussey, it's not as if she hasn't been to receptions before. She knows the score. And I don't know what she was thinking. And that's the problem.
Well, we do know what she was thinking, that a black person couldn't be British.
Exactly. And why, in a sense, why was she even thinking it was the right conversation to be having when you are used to being out there? And that is the problem for the royal family. Does it
tell us something about the royal household, generally about the royal family, going back to the claims that Meghan and Harry made in that Oprah Winfrey interview?
What it says, it's... an institution that may not be moving with the times quickly enough. And that is the problem for the royal family. And we've seen it. The King and the Prince of Wales both want to see a modern royal family, but the institution is like a great big tanker that is at the moment trying to change, because obviously it's had the Queen around for a long time and they did things a certain way. Yeah. Now they've got to change, and this is an example. And it's sad for the Queen, because in a way what she was doing was fantastic work, but unfortunately it's been overshadowed.
OK, well, let's come to you, Weyman Bennet from Stand Up to Racism. What was your reaction when you first heard these claims and read the full transcript? I say the undisputed transcript about that conversation.
Look, it exposes a layer of racism which was first raised by Meghan about how she was disproportionately treated when she joined the royal family, which, by the way, has been denied by people like Piers Morgan, and who denied that was taking place and has gone
Well, no, he didn't deny it was taken. He had no reason to know either way. But the point was that
what I'm trying to say,
when Meghan and Harry made those claims, they didn't say who and they didn't say what.
Yeah, but there was something which was whipped up of hostility against them, because they raised something which needed to be treated. It's perfectly reasonable to turn around and say there are levels of racism, especially when you have children that are definitely mixed heritage and that you want them to be treated equally, and you raise it and you want it to be treated and you feel that it's not being treated. And I think that one of the things, if in order to treat something that's wrong, you have to challenge it. I mean, a meeting about domestic violence against women should not be discussing the origin of where people are from. It should be dealing essentially with a subject which we.
Well, I mean,
we
this wasn't a meeting. I mean, this was a reception. Everyone's got a drink in their hand or a cup of tea, and so people are going to be making conversation. The royals routinely say, "Hey, where are you from?" And then you say, "Oh, I'm from. I've travelled up from Bristol for the day." Oh, lovely. I mean, the answer that Ngozi Fulani gave first of all was the obvious answer. Where are you from? I'm from Sistah Space. This is the charity. This is why I'm here. I run this charity. Know where you're from? Okay. Geographically. Oh, we're based in Hackney. I mean, her first two answers were very innocent answers to what appeared to be innocent questions. It was when the interrogation continued. Can we deduce from the conversation the questions of an 83-year-old woman, aristocratic woman, the attitudes within the royal household as a whole? The royal family as a whole? Does Prince William's swift action saying this was wrong, shouldn't have happened, she can't be part of the royal household anymore, does that tell us that there has been a generational change? Does that resolve this issue? Where are you on that?
But I still think there's a long way to go if we're honest about it, because there's so much denialism involved. If you've ever been subject from an institution, which I have myself, where people insist on going on and on. If you say I'm from Stratford, and they say, and they go on and on, really what they're trying to do. So
someone will say to you, where are you from? You say, oh, I'm from Stratford in East London. And then they'll say, no, where are you really from?
Yeah. And also that deep interrogation isn't to find out what's interesting about you, what your educational background is, what you understand. It's about establishing a hierarchy about where people belong or where they don't belong. And it's an unsaid language, but you are very, very fluent in it.
And that's the thing. Lots of people are saying it's very innocent, and I was thinking so. But I'm sort of second generation half immigrant, because the Irish, as many people in this country have, are Irish immigrant parents. I'm thinking if my dad, in the very unlikely circumstance, my father would be invited to or attend Buckingham Palace. Dad, if you're listening, I know why. If you did. The idea that someone would say to him, "Oh, so where are you really from?" Well, they wouldn't, because he's white, so it wouldn't come up. And that's the key thing. It's when people are saying they don't think there's any offence here. The first two questions, not an issue. What part of Africa are you from? Why? A, why is it relevant? B, why would you assume because someone who presumably has a British accent because they've lived here all their lives and been born here? Why would you assume that? Why do you have to question that? No one's asking me to which part of Ireland or which part of Denmark might you be from, because your parents might have come, your great parents came over with the Vikings. I mean, we don't ask those questions of white people.
Well, let's be honest, the Hohenzollern family are from Germany. We completely accept that they're Windsors from where they're from. But if we kept on going, which part of Germany are you from? Whatever it is, people would say that's an unacceptable set of questioning.
Well, that would be xenophobic. Yeah, people would say that, yeah. In terms of how we deal with this, though, look, I mean, there's no doubt at all, Meghan and Harry will be, if I were them, having made the claims they've made and the accusations made against them for their claims about the royal family and racism, I would have been chuckling away into my glass of vino last night if I were them, especially as William and Kate arrive in America, a country that is riven by racial divides for many different reasons from our country. Do you think this basically means that what Meghan and Harry had said about the royal household and the royal family is true? Does this basically, is that them going, see, told you so? Or should we not read into, as I say, what one, frankly, daft old 83-year-old woman said?
Oh, no. What we want to do is we want to try and push out racism in institutions, and we don't want to gaslight people. If they raise there's a problem, what you say is, yes, there is a problem, let's deal with it. Not, I don't believe you, or you're making it up, or ignore it. But let's deal with the problem.
No, but the issue with Meghan and Harry, they didn't give specifics. And the one specific they did give, a lot of people were saying, well, I don't think that was racist about the baby.
I don't know what happened, right? But I do know that if you want to estrange yourself from your family forever, you name all the individuals, the uncles, the aunts who've done something, yeah? And actually then the family never talks to each other ever again, right? So that's probably unlikely to happen. But if you say there's been racism in, I come from a mixed heritage family myself, extended or whatever it is. If there's ever been a problem inside my own family, I said, look, I don't like that, yeah? Nobody in my family, black and white, turns around and says, no, it didn't happen. They go up to the uncle and say, don't ever do that again, right? Or we don't accept that inside this family. And I think that's the right way. They don't go to me and say, oh, they didn't say it. They say, let's deal with it. And I think that applies to the royals and all institutions in our society.
OK, Weyman, Bennet, co-convener of Stand Up to Racism from Stratford.